You can't even perform with the actual woman because you've been jacking off all day. Y'all really be beating off to AI scenes now? That's crazy. You're 30 years old, you haven't been in the gym in 6 years. It's time for you to go crazy and do your thing in the bedroom with your girl. After 2 minutes, you tired and want to stop? Feel like you're not doing enough, especially as men. This is gonna be my year. This is gonna be different from all the other years, only to be the same person that they were this year that they were last year. What's good, YouTube? Alex Moore back with another video. Appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at @realalexmoore_. That's the best place for y'all to catch me when I'm not posting on here. As y'all can see, I started with the whiteboard vid, man. I decided to bring the whiteboard vids back. This is actually probably my 4th or 5th take now trying to do this video. And I just felt like I wasn't getting my points across the way I wanted to. So I just said, you know what, F it. I'm gonna just talk to y'all the way I would talk to myself. We just gonna thug it out and do the video that way. In this video, I wanna talk to you guys about consistency. Consistency is something that's so important in this world. Consistency is something that separates the elites from just the average to even the below average people. Look at the people around you who are successful. Can't tell me they're not consistent in some type of way. The only person I could probably think of who's not consistent in any type of way is Soluminati. Imagine if he actually posted on YouTube consistently. Bro would probably have 5 million, 10 million subscribers by now. But nobody is usually successful without being consistent. LeBron James, you look at his work ethic, you look at the way he takes care of his body, the way he trains consistently, the way he makes sure that he's prepared for every single game, never taking a night off. Somebody like a DDG. It's funny that I say Soluminati and DDG in the same video, but you look at somebody like DDG. Look at DDG's work ethic, bro. He shows up every single day, whether it's to stream, whether it's to do music, whatever the case may be. And you look at the progress that he's made this year alone as a streamer. And that's because he decided to lock in and start streaming every single day. And this is the things that separate the professionals from the amateurs. I went ahead and did some research for this video and I found out only 9% of the people who make New Year's resolutions actually stick to their resolutions throughout the year. Think of everybody who said they were gonna create a YouTube channel in January or February. Then they posted maybe 4 videos, maybe they did it for a few weeks and then they stopped. Why'd they stop? Because they didn't see results. Think about the people who went to the gym in January and February. Where are they at now? Probably not in the gym anymore. Why? Because they didn't see results. Because it took too long. Because they didn't create any type of habits or systems to go ahead and stay in place with everything. They just said, you know what, this is gonna be my year. This is gonna be different from all the other years, only to be the same person that they were this year that they were last year. And I'm speaking from experience because this has been me. I've had a YouTube channel for 6-7 years now, I would say. I haven't really been consistent on it, I'm not gonna lie. I've always had phases where this month I'm posting, this month I'm not posting, this month I'm posting, this month I'm not posting. Same thing in the gym. I had tried to put on muscle for years. I would be in the gym for 2-3 months, fall off for 2-3 months, try to bounce back and go for 2-3 months, then fall off again 3 months later. Then the next year comes and I say this is my year and I start the habit all over again. Like I'm on a hamster wheel or something. Well, a few months ago, I decided things would finally change. I would finally lock in on a lot of the things I wanted in my life. I'd finally lock in on taking the gym more serious. I decided I'd finally lock in on taking YouTube more serious. I decided I'd finally lock in on sharpening my mental mind. And a few other things, but I think you guys get the point. Well, I want to talk to you guys about what we can do to actually stay consistent this time around so we're all a part of the 9% of the people who actually succeed in their New Year's resolutions, and we can actually finish 2025 and go into 2026 with some really, really good momentum. Because we still have 154 days or something like that. And I can only imagine if we do everything we need to do consistently at a high level for 154 days, we could probably make some pretty good traction in our life. First thing I want to talk about, and I already have it written up here because like I said, I reshot this video 4 or 5 times. I'm kind of pissed off if I'm being honest, y'all, but I'm gonna try my best to keep the vibes up. Fitness. First, I want to talk about what some of the cons are for fitness. Let's look at it from a health standpoint. You're 30 years old, you haven't been in the gym in 6 years, you smoke weed, you drink beer all the time. You don't really do much other than watch Netflix, eat ice cream on the weekends, go out to eat, whatever the case may be. How do you feel knowing that you've put on 60 pounds from high school? How do you feel knowing that when people see you, they see a totally different version of who they saw in high school? In high school, you used to be that attractive dude. You used to be that dude that played football. You used to be that dude that all the girls wanted. And 10, 12, 15 years later, people look at you and they're like, dude, I don't even know who you are. Like, what happened? You struggle going up the stairs. You can't even go up 2 flights of stairs without being tired. It's time for you to go crazy and do your thing in the bedroom with your girl. After 2 minutes, you tired and want to stop? Or even worse, you might have kids, bro. You can't even chase your kids outside because you get tired after 30 seconds of running. Do you want that to be you? Do you want that to be your life? There's a whole nother life where you can be 30 years old and be in the best shape of your life. There's a version of you who can go crazy on your girl and don't have to worry about no stamina issues. You just go and just non-stop. There's a version of you whose testosterone is through the roof because you consistently pushing yourself in the gym. So it's up to you to decide who is the person that you want to be. So I wrote down some tips I want to share with y'all about what you can do to actually stay consistent and make it different this time around. The first thing you need to do, especially when it comes to your fitness, is make it a part of your identity. You can no longer tell yourself, I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to stay in shape. You're gonna say, I'm somebody who trains. I'm somebody who's in shape. The gym is a part of my lifestyle. I make time for the gym no matter what's going on in my life, what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Not only are you gonna shift your identity, but you're also gonna create a system. You're gonna create a schedule. I've talked about this multiple times, how Google Calendar is my best friend. When you have the right systems intact, you're able to do the things that you need to do even when you don't feel like doing them. You're gonna set a realistic schedule, whether that's going to the gym first thing in the morning at 5 a.m. or going to the gym at 6 o'clock when you get off work. Now, when we're starting out small, since we don't want to go through burnout, we're not going to go to the gym 6 days a week. For the first few weeks, we're really not going to do much. These first few weeks, we're just building ourselves up. We're standardizing before we optimize. I think we both know whenever you try to go in and just go all out with something, you usually fail because you get burnt out too fast. So we're going to start with just taking the smallest step of just doing cardio. Then we might add in maybe just doing some push-ups. Then we might add in doing some crunches. After we feel comfortable doing that, we might decide, let me go ahead and hit a little bit of bench press. Or let me go ahead and go on the Smith machine and just try squats and see what it looks like. This is the best way to make sure that we actually stick to the standards that we set to ourselves, is taking these baby steps, man. All those things that I mentioned, those are things that take time. It could take you 3 months just to get to the point where you're actually hitting squats or you're hitting bench press, but you were still showing up that whole time, which is still way more progress than you made the year before. Not only are you doing that, you're also tracking your progress. This is gonna be the number one thing that's gonna motivate you and keep you wanting to go week in and week out. It's gonna feel good being able to write down, I went ahead and walked for 20 minutes and I didn't get tired. I went ahead and did 20 push-ups and I felt totally fine. I have my own tracker that logs all of my exercises, how many sets and reps I did, and I look back at where I was at in April compared to where I'm at now. It's really fulfilling being able to look back and see when it was chest day and it was time for me to superset push-ups with bench press, and I could only do 15 push-ups at a time, but now I can do 25 push-ups with ease. That lets me know I'm getting stronger. It makes putting in those steps every single day worth it. And that's the only way we're gonna stay motivated and wanna keep going throughout this process. And lastly, what you're gonna do, and this goes against what a lot of people say, you're gonna actually tell people what you're going for. You're gonna tell people that you do wanna lose weight or that you do wanna gain muscle, whatever the case may be. The reason why we're gonna do that is because that's gonna hold you accountable. People are gonna look at you if you don't show up. Imagine if I said, yo, I wanna go ahead and bench 225. Let me start going to the gym so I can accomplish that. But after 2 weeks, I stop. People are gonna look at me like, I thought you were going to the gym. Like, I haven't seen you post gym footage. I haven't seen you say you were going to the gym. You haven't talked about anything. I'm just seeing you eat in and out all the time. What happened? Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to be known as the man who doesn't keep their word. You just putting this out there on what you're doing is gonna make a big difference, and it's gonna make you wanna stay held accountable for your actions. And this is just as important, honestly. I feel like everything I'm gonna talk about today is very important, but finances. A lot of us have objectives we wanna reach when it comes to money. We wanna make 100,000. We wanna make 200,000. We wanna make 10,000 in a month, 20,000 in a month. Whatever the case may be, how many times do we say this is the year that it's gonna be different? How many times do we say this year we're gonna buy this new car? We're gonna buy this new house. We're gonna move out of this neighborhood. But another year passes and we don't do it. We're in the same position. Same money, same car, same credit score, same amount of debt. Nothing's changed. Well, I went ahead and did some research again, y'all. I found out 18% of individuals in the US make over 100K. Why can't that be us? 12% make over 200K. I feel like we could be a part of that 12%. I'm not saying we have to be rich. Everybody has their own financial achievements that they're going after, but let's be real, we live in America. Especially right now, we need money to be able to survive, whether that's to take care of ourselves, whether that's to take care of our family, whatever the case may be. We have to be real. I do need money to survive. I do need money to take care of my family. What are some of the cons that comes with not making enough money? You constantly stressed out all the time. You can't go to the mall and get the things you want to get. You can't take your family on trips. You constantly wondering, am I going to be able to pay the rent this month? Am I going to be able to pay the mortgage this month? If an emergency happens, if my car breaks down, if I have a leak in my house, I don't have the money to pay for it. Your confidence starts to waver. You feel like you're not doing enough, especially as men. I know how it feels because I've been in that position. I'm still in that position right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It could be very stressful trying to figure out how you're gonna keep everything moving. But let's look at some of the pros. What would it look like if money isn't an issue for y'all? You don't have to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. You can take your family on a week or 2 week vacation with no issue. If you're somebody who's big on giving back, you can give back to the community. You can donate to people. There's so many things that you can do with your money in a good way. It doesn't even have to be from a selfish way. You could take care of your family, to set your kids up for their college funds. It's very, very important, especially as us men, that we have our finances in order. Now you guys are probably saying, okay, Alex, I already know that. You ain't telling me nothing new. What are we gonna do about it? How can I actually make it happen? Relax, let me tell you. The first thing you wanna do is you wanna break down how much money you wanna make into little increments. Go ahead and say you wanna make 100,000. I feel like that's the easiest one to break down, since I feel like probably majority of us wanna make 100,000. 100,000 is $8,333 a month. That's $1,923 a week. That's $274 a day. Not gonna lie, $274 in a day seems achievable. So now that we know what it takes, now that we know that you need $274 per day, how can we make that happen? Well, we know we have our primary income. We have our regular 9 to 5 where we might be making 40,000, 50,000, or 60,000. Now we need to figure out what is it that we need to do to come up with that other 40,000, that other 50,000. This is where our secondary income is going to come in. We're going to do this from picking a lane that we can thrive in, a lane that could really help generate another good source of income for us. You can do stuff on the smaller scale, but it's probably not going to be enough to get you where you want to be, but you can obviously do the Ubers, DoorDashes. I'm not going to lie, I done seen people on YouTube who actually make decent money from doing that. But you can also go a route that's probably less time consuming, but you're able to still make more money. You can go the content creation route. You only have to make a YouTube video one time and you can get paid for that video. It might be a video that goes viral. You might make $5,000 or $10,000 just off one video. And it's gonna keep paying you over time, monthly. All that for just one video. Now don't get me wrong, you have to grind. It's not just like you can be monetized on YouTube overnight. You do have to put in the work to get to that point. But once you are monetized, it's fair game. You never know what video can pop off. You can go ahead and do e-commerce. You can create a course or an ebook yourself and start selling it. You can really use content creation and just the internet overall to go ahead and just be a sales funnel for whatever it is that you're really trying to do. That's the best part about the internet, is that you're able to reach the world as opposed to just trying to reach the people in your city. So we're gonna start small and then we're just gonna scale up whatever this business idea is that we have. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. This is gonna take some time, but it's something that's very well possible. So now that we've created our lane, we need to create a target for how much money we wanna make. So let's say we wanna make $3,000 in a week. We can have our product costs $500. We get 6 clients, boom, we done made our $3,000 that way. And I know that sounds crazy to y'all. Y'all are thinking, Alex, like it's not that easy. Bro, trust me, it is. It takes time. You need to have expertise. You need to be very, very skilled in whatever it is that you're going after. But once you have those things, you can definitely profit and charge as much money as you want to for that. But here's where it all ties back to consistency. See, none of this is gonna work if we're not staying consistent. Again, much like fitness, you're not gonna see the results from this overnight. You might say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and create my YouTube channel today. Bro, it might take you a year to get monetized, or it might take you 6 months. That's 6 months worth, or that's a year's worth of you just putting out videos, just getting the reps in with no results. Video, 2 subs here. Video, 6 subs here. Video, 3 subs here. Over and over. But what if you get a video that just pops? You never know what video is gonna pop off and gonna allow you to expand into a whole new audience. And once you expand into that, boom, it's game over, man. Stay consistent and put the work in. You're gonna get rewarded for the work you put in. Man, this is probably the toughest thing for most men. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of men struggle with this. Is porn. You gotta get the lust under control, man. 78% of men in the US watch porn. Porn is destroying you, bro. How many times have you said, this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna go on the hub? This is the last time I'm gonna choke the chicken. This is the last time I'm gonna beat off to AI scene. Y'all really be beating off to AI scenes now? That's crazy, I ain't gonna lie. We have to beat the addictions. Let's go ahead and do the pros and the cons list. Let's go through the cons first. You're getting cheap dopamine. You're staring at a screen watching other people have sex. People who have no idea you exist. You're wasting hours on this. You probably go on the hub at 9 o'clock on a Saturday and don't finish doing your thing until 12 o'clock. Because you're sitting there watching all the scenes. You gotta find the right scene, bro. You gotta find your favorite model. You gotta go from this site to this site, back to this site, then you gotta go ahead and find the video that you wanna watch. Y'all are spending hours, bro, when that time could have spent working out. That time could have been spent working on YouTube. That time could have been spent spending time with your family, bro. There's so many more ways that could have been used than going crazy with your hand, bro. And I'm not done, it gets worse. You have no desire to be with the actual woman. You can't even perform with the actual woman because you've been jacking off all day. You have nothing but guilt and shame because you know you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. All right, let's go to the pros real quick. There is none, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you can quit this addiction, if you can go on NoFap, or if you can go on semen retention, you're gonna find that you're gonna have so much other free time. You're gonna have so much more creativity than you ever had in your life. You're gonna find that you feel so much more confident once you beat that addiction. You're gonna be able to start talking to women in real life. You're gonna be able to start exuding a confidence around you that you never had before. You're no longer gonna have that shame that you dealt with before. You're no longer gonna have that guilt that you dealt with before. You're gonna be able to speak with God a lot easier because you're not doing a sin. You're not doing something that you're not supposed to be doing anymore. First thing we're gonna do to beat this addiction and actually be consistent for once and not fapping is download an app called ScreenZen. I've talked about ScreenZen a few times on this channel. This is an app that I still use till this day. I have it on my phone. There's a button that you can press that actually allows you to block all adult content. It'll block out images like videos on Google. Like there's literally no way that you can go ahead and look at this type of content. It's easy for you to not be triggered to go look at this type of content if you can't see it to begin with. Another thing you're gonna wanna do is limit the time on social media. We all know this is a huge trigger as well. Whether you're scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, whether you're on Twitter, there's so many things that just trigger you to go ahead and want to release. So you're gonna have to reduce these triggers. That way you're able to just be clean. You wanna set a limit on your phone for 5 minutes a day on Instagram or 20 minutes a day, whatever the case may be. Go ahead and set that limit. That way you can't go over that. And since you're only on Instagram for a short amount of time, you're like, dang, okay, I need to actually use this wisely. If I want to check in on a friend, if I want to check in on what LeBron is doing, whatever the case may be, I'm using my time wisely. Second thing you're gonna wanna do is track your progress. You're gonna wanna track your streaks. What you wanna do is put the day that you start. So if you start on August 1st, you're gonna wanna have a calendar and X off every single day on your streak. You want that to be the first thing that you do every day when you wake up. So August 1st, August 2nd, August 3rd, dang, I slipped up on August 4th. You're not gonna X out that day. That day is gonna be blank. But you're gonna say, you know what, let me go ahead and bounce back. I'm not gonna do it 2 days in a row. Let me go ahead and just keep back on my streak and start all over. Boom, August 5th. Boom, August 6th. Boom, August 7th. You do good all the way to the 12th. Dang, I relapsed like I couldn't control myself. But it's okay. I'm not gonna miss twice. Let me go ahead and lock back in and just keep going. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, you look at the month, it's been 30 days and you only had 3 relapses. You have been relapsing every day or every other day before that point. So it's all about progression, man. And when you look back and you see, dang, I won 27 out of 30 days in August, let me go ahead and try to get 28 out of 30 days in September, and so on and so forth. Like you go and just build yourself up and it's gonna be amazing. The other thing that I recommend, especially when it comes to the nofap and trying to get your porn under control, is have an accountability partner, bro. I think that's one of the problems with us as men is we don't like to actually admit that we have a problem or that we're consuming these things in the first place, but you need to have a brother with you on this journey. You need to have somebody who can check in with you and say, yo, bro, how you doing? This is something that I have till this day. One of my best friends, me and him check in with each other all the time and just randomly we'll get a text, yo, how you doing with your streak? Like, you good? You staying strong? So on and so forth. Because when you have an accountability partner, it's like, dang, well, I know if I slip up, Alex is gonna text me in a day or two and be like, yo, did you do it? Like, how you doing on your streak? And us as men, especially when we're trying to level up and do something with our life, we're not gonna wanna say, oh yeah, bro, I went on the hub last night. Cause your boy is gonna look at you like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, what's up? So having that accountability partner is gonna be huge, bro. I'm telling you, if you can go ahead and do that, if you can have that accountability partner, if you could track your progress, if you can limit the triggers in the first place, I genuinely do believe that you can quit that addiction altogether. If you can build up that consistency of not watching porn alone, along with these other 2 things, locking in on your finances and locking in on your fitness, I think this is one of the best things that could separate us from other men. Now, I didn't even go into the other things that you can do as far as hygiene and taking better pictures and all of these things. There's a lot more things we can do, but having this right here is a great start as a man. Women will really respect you if you can just conquer these 3 alone. If you're a man that's in shape, if you're a man that has his finances in order, if you're a man that has his lust under control, you might not be a top 1% man, but you dang near a top 10% man, a 15% man. Like most men can't even have these 3 under control. And so I want us to at least start there. This is one of the things that I'm working on myself. I feel like I've gotten the porn down, no issues. The fitness is something I'm working on. I'm seeing progress, but I know I still have a long way to go. But the finances is the part that I'm struggling with the most. That's the part that I need to be consistent about the most this month, is locking in on my finances. And go ahead and let me know down in the comments, what are you guys focusing on the most? Is it all 3 of these that you want to work on? Is it you have the fitness and finances down, but you struggle with the lust? Like, let me know down in the comments what you struggle with the most. It is the beginning of August. Let's go ahead and lock in. Let's make sure we make August the best month of 2025. Let's get some good momentum going into 2026. It's Alex. I'll see you on the next video. I'm out. Peace.